Hi, for today we are looking at the second part of section 6.2, which is on your pay periods and hourly rates. For our learning targets today, we're going to compute weekly, semi-monthly, and bi-weekly earnings given an annual salary, and computing hourly pay and overtime pay given an hourly rate. We're going to be looking at time cards as well and how we can compute how much time you've worked into how much money you were actually grossing for that pay time. Just as a review of what we went over in the previous lesson, weekly would be 52 paychecks per year because there's 52 weeks in a year. So then bi-weekly, which would be every other week, is 26, right? 52 divided by 2 is 26. Monthly is 12 paychecks per year because there are 12 months per year. Semi-monthly is every other month. I'm sorry, twice a month. Sorry about that. Twice a month. So that is 24 paychecks per year. Time and a half means that you are getting paid per hour what you make plus another half of what you make per hour. So that's why you multiply your hourly rate times 1.5 to figure out your new hourly rate. And then double time is how much you make per hour times 2. Okay, so totaling the number of hours you work, we always need to kind of think of things in terms of hours. So 15 minutes is a quarter of an hour. So if you think of a clock, right, we can go ahead and draw in the 12, let's see, 3, 6, and then 9, right, thinking about your clock. A clock is divided into quarters, right? So from here to here is 15 minutes. So that 15 minutes is a quarter of an hour, which is 0.25. So 15 minutes is a quarter, which is 0.25. 1/4, 1 divided by 4 is 0.25. 30 minutes, you know, thinking about 30 minutes, that would be, right, half. 30 minutes is going to be half. So that is 0.5. It's half an hour. 45 minutes is going to be all the way around. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3 quarters. 3/4 of an hour, which would be 0.75. So you may want to make sure you make a good note of that, jot that down. So if you're talking about like 4 hours, 15 minutes, it'd be like 4.25, right? So you have to convert everything to a decimal based on how much it is part of an hour. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at a time card. This is for Ben Jones. We are given his days of the week that he works, and we are looking at how much his time is. We have different clock in and clock out times, and we need to calculate how much time he has actually worked. So Monday, for whatever reason, sometimes students find this to be the easiest skill there ever was. Other students struggle with this. They struggle with time. So I know this sounds crazy, being seniors in high school, but I'm going to ask you to use your fingers to count. I think that helps. So from 10 to 12 on Monday, he went in at 10, left at noon for lunch, right? So from 10 to 12, that's pretty easy to calculate. That is 2 hours. And then he clocked back in at 12:30 and left at 5. So you're like 12:30, and use your fingers here, right? 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30. So 4:30 then to 5 is another 30 minutes. So it'd be 4.5 in between there and there. All right, so 2 plus 4.5, he worked 6.5 hours on Monday. All right, Tuesday, we'll go ahead and calculate here. Tuesday from 9 to noon, so 9, 10, 11, 12, that's 3 hours. And then 12:30 to 5, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, so it'd be 4, and then 4:30 to 5 is another half, so 4.5. So altogether on Tuesday, 3 plus 4.5 is 7.5 hours. All right, let's take a look at Wednesday. Wednesday, 8:45 to 12:15. This is usually where people kind of start to mess up a little bit. I might suggest we can draw a little clock up here. So 12, there's my 6, my 3, my 9. So draw your little clock and think of this in terms of quarters. All right, so if we're looking at I would start, okay, it's 8:45, so 8:45, 9:45, 10:45, 11:45. To go to 12:15, right, it's not a full hour. So I'm at 11:45 to 12:15. So I'm thinking in my mind, if I look at my clock here, so 45 to the 15. So if I'm looking, that took up half an hour. So that would be and a half. So that would be 3.5. All right, so in 12:45 to 5:15. So 12:45, 1:45, 2:45, 3:45, 4:45, and I can't go another hour, right? So again, I'm going from the 45, same as before, all the way around. So again, it's another half an hour. So 4.5. So 3.5 and 4.5 is 8 hours. All right, let's look at Thursday. And again, if I need to draw my clock, I can draw that again, right? So 12, 6, 3, 9. It helps for me to visually see what's going on. So again, let's count. So 8:45, 9:45, 10:45, 11:45. And then to get from the 45 to the top of the hour at noon, that's just one section, that's 1/4. So 3.25. All right, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30. All right, now I'm going from 4:30. So I'm going from the 30, and I have to go to the 15, which is all the way around here. So that is filling in 3/4 of an hour. So that would be 4.75, right? 3/4 of an hour is 0.75. So adding my time here, 4.75 plus 3.25 is going to be 8 hours. All right, so looking at Friday. From 8 to noon, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so it's exact, right? 4 hours. 12:30 to 6, so 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, sorry, 5:30, and then 5:30 to 6 is another half, so 5.5. So 4 and 5.5 is 9.5. That was a long day. And then Saturday is just from 10 to 12, so 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, so 4 hours. All right, and then we're going to add up all of our hours so we can figure out how much he worked all together. So 6.5 plus 7.5 plus 8 plus 8 plus 9.5 plus 4 for a total of 43.5 hours. All right, so moving over into the next slide here. Still talking about Ben Jones. So it wants to know or to fill out how much he actually is making. So regular hours we know is 40 hours. Anything over our 40 is overtime. Well, we just did on the previous slide that he worked 43.5 hours. So that means 3.5 of those hours were over the 40. All right, so then we have to look at the rate. Well, for regular, told us right here, he makes $10.50 an hour. So for overtime, he makes time and a half. So what we need to do is take his pay and we multiply it by 1.5. So $10.50 times 1.5, he's going to make $15.75 for every hour over 40 that he works. Most common mistake students make is they write 1.5 for the rate. I don't know about you, but I'm not working overtime for $1.50 an hour. So your overtime rate should always be more than you make for your regular, right? If you're going to work extra, they better pay you extra to stay overtime. All right, so then we just have to multiply. So to figure out how much he makes regular, we take 40 and we multiply that times the 10.5, 10.50, and it's $420 for regular. And then overtime, again, we're going to take 3.5, so 3.5 hours times $15.75 an hour. And we are making $55. Now, it comes out 0.125. So we're talking money. So we want to round that to the nearest cent. So that 5 is going to cause that 2 to round up to be 13 cents. So for our total earnings, 420 plus 5513, total gross pay of $475.13. All right, so now that we've gone through one together, the next one I want you to try on your own. So here's what I'd like you to do. So I want you to go ahead and work through this time card on your own. If you're a little uncomfortable, when you hit play on the video, I would go back and watch maybe just through Monday, see if you got Monday right? And then maybe hit pause again, try Tuesday. Hit play, watch Tuesday, see if you got it right. Okay, you need to be active in your learning. So as you're going through here, I want you to be checking it as you go. All right? So go ahead and hit pause and give it a shot, and then come back and hit play and kind of go one step at a time, and let's see how we do. All right, so hopefully now you've tried this on your own. So Monday from 8 to 12, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's 4 hours. And then 12:30 to 4:30. So 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30. Another 4 hours for a total of 8 hours on Monday. All right, so Tuesday from 8 to noon. We just figured above, that's 4 hours there. 12:30 to 4:30 again. All right, another 4 hours. So another 8 hours. It'd be nice if you always worked such nice even increments. All right, Wednesday, 7:45 to 12:45. So 7:45, 8:45, 9:45, 10:45, 11:45, 12:45. That was an exact 5 hours. And then 1:15, 2:15, 3:15, 4:15, 5:15, and then from, again, if you got to kind of stop and think about your clock here, I was at 15, and I'm trying to get all the way around to the 45. So that is half of my clock, so that would be another half, so 4.5. So 5 plus 4.5 is 9.5. All right, Thursday. So 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. And look at your clock. I'm going from the 30, trying to get to the 15. So I am coloring in 3/4. So that would be 4.75. All right, and then counting this one, 12:45, 1:45, 2:45, 3:45, 4:45, 5:45. So again, I'm at 45, and I'm trying to get to the 15. So I'm doing half. So it'd be 5.5 hours. So 4.75 plus 5.5, we're looking at 10.25 hours. That was a long day. All right, how about Friday? 7:45, 8:45, 9:45, 10:45, 11:45, and then from 45 to the top of the hour, that's just 15 minutes. So it'd be 4.15 minutes. Remember, that's a quarter of an hour, so 4.25. Don't do 1/5 for 15, because that's not the same as a quarter. All right, and then 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30. I'm right on it for an exact 4 hours. So that would be 8.25. And then Saturday is blank, so there's nothing there. Yeah, so our total hours, 8 plus 8 plus 9.5 plus 10.25 plus 8.25, we're looking at 44 hours. All right, moving on to do our calculating then. Again, if you've not already tried this part on your own, hit pause, try this on your own. All right, so I know 40 hours is my normal regular work week. Anything over 40 is overtime, and I had 44 hours, so 4 of them were more than I needed to work. My regular rate, they told me, is $9.75. And then for overtime, it said it is 2 times the regular pay. So we're going to multiply that times 2, 9.75 times 2. I will make $19.50 per hour for anything over 40, which is awesome. So to figure out our amounts, we will just multiply 40 times 9.75 is 390. And then I worked 4 hours, 4 times 1950, $78 there, for a grand total of $468 for my gross pay for that week. All right, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out, contact me, text me, email me, let me know if you have any questions. And that is it for today.